Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. All right, traders. So in this video, I want to share something with you that I think will really help you out. In the market, right, we've heard that they're saying the trend is your friend, okay? Now, we all know that's true, right? If there's a definite trend in place, that we shouldn't be going against that because that trend could be the pullback, the whipsaw, whatever you call it, counter trend. That could be very short-lived in the market. So when we talk about the trend is your friend, we should be going with the trend. If you want the highest probability, right, of having a successful trade and a successful trading career. Now, one thing I found is that if you're going against the trend, and that's where like divergent setups and stuff like that, that's where you start to get like 1 point profit and 3 point losses and stuff like that. It's just crazy. Anyway, the one thing that is really important when you look at the market, right? Think about the market as like a stream, okay? Think about the trend as a stream, as a current in the beach, in the ocean, or even in a river, right? A current. If you see, like for example, we're looking at Tesla stock here, okay? And what's Tesla stock doing here? It's doing what? We have a high, we have a lower low, we have a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, equal high, a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? So if we have clearly defined that the stream, the current is pretty strong, right? It's not just sideways, but it's actually very strong on the downside. We continue to get lower highs. Then there's two ways to approach this market. Firstly, you can try and fight it and try to pick the bottoms here, where 9 times out of 10, you're going to get smacked. That one time you get it right, I was right. And then the next time you trade, you lose all that profit and everything else, right? If you've been there before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I used to do that as well too. So if you fight against the current, right, and that's the same with the water, right? The water and the ocean, right? There's a current there. If you fight that current, guess what? You're going to get tied and you're going to get wiped out. That sound effect was also you getting wiped out when it comes to your trading account, right? So let's actually look at this here. The most successful thing you can do, or one of the things you can do to help you with your odds of doing more, is ask yourself, where's the current right now? Do we have a strong current? Do we have a current at all? Or is it just sideways, really no one in control? Or do we have a strong current? So that's the first thing you must try to do, right? Because we all know, right? Trying to buy a Tesla probably the last 6 months has been what? Risky. But by just listening to the market and going with the market, then you say, okay, you have a much better chance of having a successful trade. The trend is your friend. And what I like to say is that if you see a nice, strong current in place, yes, we're going to get some pullbacks because that's how the markets work, right? We have a run, then we have a pullback. We have a run, and we have a pullback, and then we have a run. Make sense? That's how the markets work. But just because we get these pullbacks, pullback, doesn't mean the trend has changed, does it? No, because who's in control? Lower low, lower high, bam, knocked it down, right? So now we've seen the stream in the current. But also when that happens, you don't want to just short it anywhere. You want to make sure you have good entry points as well too, right? But identifying this stream, the highest probability trades is if you see a strong current in the market, if you fight it, just think about the ocean, right? If you fight it, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get just tired, you're gonna get washed away. Instead of fighting it, just go with it, right? That's actually what if you actually a lot of surfers and people in the ocean have actually said to me is like, John, if you find a current, just let it take you out, then swim around and then come back in, right? So that's what you want to do. Now, that being said, guys, also when the market starts to get pretty overextended on one leg, then what I mean by that is that if the market gets overextended, right, we know how the markets work. Like in this case, we have lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? But if the market's making a lower high, lower low, lower high, and then suddenly we have a big drop down like that, what is this now doing, right? this is now too overextended. And there's a thing called price and time in the market, and I won't get too much detail into that, but price and time is basically where we've had a bit of price, and then the market has a pullback, and it's time. A price is where the market's moving in a direction. Time is more like a resting phase, a pullback, counter trend, so on and so forth, right? So if you ever see the market, the current trending down, there we go. That's the one. The current trend now. But then you see a big, long, straight drop down. Guess what? Now you're expecting a pretty decent pullback because how we've had a very big, strong directional move. Now expecting some sort of a strong pullback as well too. Knowing that in the first hand, right? And then that's where, like with the market, if the market goes up and up a lot, like we've seen recently with the indices, right? What are we expecting? Some sort of a pullback. Doesn't mean the trend has changed. No. Because what could happen? We could just continue that downward leg, right? Or continue that upward leg. Makes sense? So it doesn't mean the trend has changed. We're just going through a pullback. So you must ask yourself, is there a strong current right now in the market? And if so, then don't fight that. Hey traders, thanks for watching my YouTube video. You know that there's a lot of areas in the trading arena, right, for you to become a good trader, right? There's the trading systems, there's the chart reading strategies, there's the foundations, the mindset, and there's so many areas, right, you need to really understand in order for you to become a good trader. So that's what I've created, the Master Trader Lab. I put everything in there for you to become a really, really good trader, and I'm giving you a free trial. So if you go to mastertraderlab.com and you can grab a free trial to this and start learning the chart reading strategies, the trading systems, the mindset, so much more in there, and start to learn the skills to become what I call a master trader. So go to mastertraderlab.com.